Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
And that's it. We've lost Kirk again.
We've lost Kirk again. We can't keep him, can we?
No.
He's a
very busy man. That's it. So
busy bee.
Yeah. We were even going to ask him about the framing this week, but we're not going to do that. But I am going to say, as a sort of public service announcement, please keep buying frames from him so I don't have to speak to him. It's phenomenal. Love it. The more you do it, the less I have to engage. Fantastic stuff.
Well, that is true. That is true at the moment. You know, he's a busy guy. He's doing very well with his frames. Unfortunately, I think his day job may have caught up with him a bit today. But he's just a busy guy. But I'm sure he will be back next week. You know, he plans to be anyway.
Yes, indeed.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But that's the week that you're off.
We're not doing well with notice, are we? No, I am off next week.
Yeah,
and,
we'll sort
and
that one.
The week after.
Oh, Christ, yeah. He best be back then. He best be back.
Yeah. Otherwise, it'll be
can't have a two-man show with me and Eddie. Well, that went okay last time, I thought, actually.
Is it confirmed?
We might have a three-man show, yeah. Oh, no, we might have a guest. Yes, we might have a guest, yes.
Come on,
you're not
guys.
seeming organised,
I'm
man.
the guy that just comes on and shouts. You're the organisers. How am I the one to notify you of this?
No, actually, I think we almost certainly do have a guest.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive we do, but it's fine. It's
Yeah. My memory's not great at the moment, you know.
To be fair,
End
we're
of the
leaving
working
Kirk to organise it, so you never know, actually. It might...
Yeah, actually, he might just go AFK and nothing will happen.
Our guest will actually end up packing the frames for him to just make that easier. That's what he's going to be doing this time. Anyway, for this week's show, we are, of course, going to go through the news, the new releases, what we've been playing, and a feature this week which is on the Nintendo Direct that happened on the 28th.
Yep, lovely job.
Mm-hmm. But we should also mention, Ben, that you're going to finish The Quarry, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll finish The Quarry this week on stream on Thursday, 7 o'clock BST. Yeah, we're cracking through it, aren't we? I mean, I think we've got a couple of chapters left. I know, Pete, you were in the chat on the last one, so we'll be talking about it in full, I think, next week. We can kind of both give our opinions on the game when we've kind of completed it, I suppose.
Yes, indeed. All I must say is that I'm hoping for a lot more deaths this time. A lot more deaths. You're getting to the crunch time. Let's see more death. Come on now.
Very morbid.
But for now, we should get on to the
totally
news.
Lost you there. I think my internet is playing right up. So if I just drop out for a sec, then just
He went a
Ben
bit
is seeing
robot
flames.
boy.
Yeah, Ben is seeing flames. Right. Well, we're on to the news without Ben. That's.
Well, we're not,
can
because
you hear me
he's
now?
doing the quick news.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah. My internet, I think, is playing up. Like, Pete sounds like a robot to me, and but I've checked my internet connection, and it's running.
You
lovely.
sound great now.
You do.
Absolutely
But
lovely
you
job.
went full robot for us and
Yeah,
then disappeared.
no longer robot boy.
Right, good stuff. Well, that's going to be weird on the edit, isn't it? Because my audio won't have cut out.
Yes, that's going to be
It's going
phenomenal.
to be very. Well, I'm really going to have to. I'm going to have to play around with that bad boy. Right. Okay. Doesn't matter. Let's move on to quick news, shall we?
There we go. Yes.
Right. You can now complete KOTOR 2 on the Switch. We talked about it. Was it last week or the week before that you couldn't
It was last
complete
week. Last week.
KOTOR 2? There was like that bug that meant that you can do it, but now that is all fixed up and you can. The next one is a tweet from that EA put out this week, and it's a bit of a weird one. Are you aware of this like trend of the there are 10 but
Yeah.
kind of concept?
It's been everywhere this week, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been all over Twitter as well. Like, so EA posted a tweet that said there are 10, but they only play single-player games. So this had kind of like people, developers, and everything that all tweeting, kind of seeming up in arms, like, you know, people making quite scathing remarks back, like as if you've ever known a 10 or something like that, you know, like quite funny, witty, but some scathing ones and all that kind of stuff. But if you're the social media person at EA, you got a right battering after this one. You got an absolute fucking battering because everybody was on you, and it just sometimes you look at the internet, and I look at it, and I just go like, fucking hell, people are just ridiculous.
While I do agree with you, it's pretty on the nose for EA to say that, isn't it? Like, come on.
Yeah.
If they just flipped
know.
that round, I think they'd have got a more positive reaction because of who they are. Like,
yeah, you're right, and I think also this is a weird one because obviously they've got Jedi Fallen Order under their kind of banner and games like that. So, but at the end of the day, remember, this is a social media account. They're not getting everything vetted. This is just a person on the other end saying stuff, trying to create some engagement, trying to get things flowing. They probably knew that. They're like, that is a bit ironic because they got this game over here, but they're just being funny. And then people just absolutely railroad them, and it's just.
Well, I suppose they did get the engagement. It's just possibly not the positive type.
they did, and I suppose from that respect, it probably doesn't really matter. But I just don't like. I don't like the thought of somebody on their end, like a social media person, just being like, "Oh shit, I just got battered there." Like, that is bad. Oh no, or like their boss is going to tell them off, and it just seems like, it just seems so innocuous and rubbish. But the internet could just be a bunch of cunts sometimes. Anyway, that's that one. Moving on, Ubisoft are shutting down servers for 15 of their multiplayer older games. This includes Anno 2070 and the original Far Cry 3, but not the remastered version. So if you've got the remastered version, the multiplayer is still open there. But it's got some Assassin's Creed games in there as well and stuff like that. So if you're an Ubisoft, if you love a particular Ubisoft multiplayer game from yesteryear, then you might want to check out that list of 15 older games to make sure that it's not being shut down. But this is kind of expected, isn't it? Like, this happens. New games come out. Server space has to be used for that. Older games get shut down. So that's they would have looked at the stats and seen that they're not being played or something like that. And then talking of multiplayer games, Halo Infinite's co-op campaign is getting a beta, and that's starting on the 11th of July for 10 days. So finally, we're getting sight of this co-op campaign. I think you can get involved if you sign up at their insider program or whatever it's called, the equivalent. Yeah, I think it's only for 2 players to start with, and I know the full game is going to be up to 4 players, isn't it?
That was what they suggested anyway. That's
what was suggested. And that when you play the campaign, it's quite obvious it's up to 4 players because there's like 4 stations and stuff like that. But one of the features that they were really relying on in this is that the other players, their progress also counts, not just the main hosting player.
Yeah, that's huge, isn't it?
It's very big. Other highly successful games like Elden Ring have failed in that regard, and you've had to like replay progress on both people's accounts and things like that. So I think this is really interesting. I kind of understand that conceptually would take a long time to prepare for. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, that seems really difficult as a thesis of what you want to do, and it seems quite difficult to actually implement, don't you think?
I'm sure it is, but it's what we all want to see. So,
I love it. Yeah,
it's very late already for this element of Halo. So let's just see where they are. Hopefully, it is doable, and hopefully, it works.
Absolutely. Well, the quotes that I've read, they seem all in on this one particular concept. So let's see how it pans out. But not a massive news week. Obviously, we had the Nintendo Direct, which we're going to go over. But not huge for the old quick news. But move on to some of the bigger stuff.
Yes, indeed. Well, talking of engagement on the internet, there's been quite a bit of it in the last few days, hasn't there? And in particular, we're going to talk about calling out some toxicity on this one, because we'll start with Monkey Island. And Ron Gilbert, in particular, the creator, who has made the decision to stop talking about the upcoming release of Return to Monkey Island, basically following unwarranted abuse. That's the key to this. The exact quote is, "I'm shutting down comments. People are just being mean and I'm having to delete personal attacks. It's an amazing game and everyone on the team is very proud of it. Play it or don't play it, but don't ruin it for everyone else. I won't be posting any more about the game. The joy of sharing has been driven from me."
Aww.
Yeah, that's the start of this. And he was immediately supported by Guybrush Threepwood actor Dominic Amato, who came to his defence. This is all on Twitter, by the way. I should start with. This is all on Twitter. Bang up job, everybody. I've seen a lot of passionate but polite or polite adjacent discussion going on, but the comments on his blog were a total shit show.
Yeah.
And then followed up with, whatever you want Monkey Island to be, I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest that making this a chore rather than a joy for the devs is the quickest way to ensure it won't be anything for anybody. And that, I think, is a key thing to remember. That is a very good line. And quite important, because we'll come on to some more stuff in a minute. And a follow-up on this, it should be the blog post in particular they're talking about, was where Gilbert was addressing the new art direction, where he specifically said that Return to Monkey Island may not be the art style you wanted or were expecting, but it's the art style I wanted.
I think it looks really cool. I mean, that's not the point of this article, not the point of what's going on or anything like that, but I actually like the look of it. I know a lot of diehard fans, which I'm not, are like, okay, right. But I think it looks pretty damn good. But he does, he seems to be someone who is very affected by the minority comments. Like
he's taken this hard.
He's been hit by a truck on this one. Yeah,
but he's
not taking it as stride.
No, but he's also not the only one, because the producers of God of War had to come out and ask everyone to remain patient while waiting for more news of that game. And
this is a bit worse, this one.
It has since transpired some members of the community have been sending unsolicited dick pics to members of the God of War team.
I don't know in what world, what like that, right? But let me just say, that is not, it's almost like the two things are unrelated. It's like people are just finding a reason to do that type of thing, rather than the reason isn't that they're not telling you when the release date is. These people are just like that anyway.
Well, you say that, but there's been a lot of abuse about the release date and a lot of people going on about it. And from the context that's provided, but again, I can't reference the actual messages they received because I don't think anyone's plastering them up online going, see what I got, is that it is related to the release date. It's just that this is the method. And let's be honest, somewhere like Reddit, you could easily see someone making this the campaign they decided to do.
Yeah, no, what I mean by that is it may be chalked up to a release date and they may not be happy that they're not getting that information, but like that method of doing it it's not to get results, is it? It's just because that you're that way inclined to do ridiculous things like that.
Yeah, well, it's just people trying to be over the top, trying
outrageous.
to do something outrageous.
Absolutely outrageous.
And I mean, they nailed that. But my God, like, what is wrong with you?
I would never have expected that. I'd never expect that to have been a story this week.
No, not at all. But the two things in tandem have seen a bit of an outpouring of support from the actual gaming community, those who make the games. So we had Naughty Dog's co-president Neil Druckmann writing in support of Gilbert and saying they were making an amazing game. Keep doing what you believe in. It looks gorgeous.
I think I'm going to stop you here. I think this is all ridiculous. Like, I mean, for a start, I hate when people do this, and they all show support. No, you don't. You would have said it before it became a huge thing. But the main thing is, these twats that do all these comments, they do it for the one reason is they love the attention.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when you read a Reddit post and there's something obviously trolly and you go, that can't be true, and then you look it up, it's not true, and they're just saying it to really piss you off.
It's bait.
So, yes, it's bait, and everyone is falling for it. Why can't we just let the twats just, I don't know, block their account and then just don't talk to them, don't interact with them, because this is exactly what they want.
I in a way, I agree with Eddie, because the first one, take away the unsolicited pictures, that's almost criminal, isn't it? I think
it is. Yeah,
that is
definitely.
We all agree with that part, but let's just to the other stuff where you're like having a go at, like, the internet is an anonymous place, so that's a real bad thing. Like, it's that created a culture where this is like seen as almost normal. I do think that it would appear to me, and I'm not, but the first one, there may need to be a little bit of a thicker skin there, I would have thought.
Yes.
And also with the God of War stuff, that's to be expected. I mean, people are ridiculous, and and they complain about a lot of stuff. And I mean, where do you go with this? But this whole make a game for you. Yes, Neil Druckmann, man who is at the top of the game and obviously making insane games, and that's wonderful. Everyone else has to make a lot of money and get paid and do things in line with publishers, and have to keep the community happy. And at the end of the day, the community does pay the bills. So there is a balance there, but I do get what they're saying.
Okay, I think possibly you're both oversimplifying that a bit there, because
probably.
It's very easy to say it when you're not receiving thousands of these. We've all received a bad message. If you're getting 1,000 a day, think about it like that. Yeah, one or two.
You're not reading them, are you?
I imagine that it's quite hard to avoid, even if you're trying to get rid of all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and when it's in that kind of volume, it's gonna have an impact on you, even if you don't want it to.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And as none of us yet have received this kind of volume of hatred.
On a couple of our videos, we've got a bit of hatred. Get that Total War one.
We've had some, but it's only a few dozen. And
I enjoyed it. Interaction to interaction.
I don't think the quantity surely affects it. Like that.
Oh, I think it would do. I think it really would do, because it starts to feel like it's critical mass. And I think the other thing here is that people
you also wouldn't read everyone. You would literally just delete.
If you then but this is the thing. Even if it's just in the what's it called when you see the tiny bit of the message? I forget, preview. Even if it's just in the preview, you're going to get a sense of what they're saying.
I suppose one thing which one takeaway is, nobody should be. Nobody should be receiving harassed for your work. Nobody should be. That should never happen. And I'm not ever condemning that. I'm just saying that, unfortunately, it's this culture of anonymity on social media and stuff has created this, and they are on social media and they are part of it. And it's you're in that world where this happens, and it's not correct. I'd never want it. That's why I don't put myself in that position. But
this, by the way, is there's another bit as well to the support I think you missed there, because I do get what you're saying, Eddie, there about you'd have said it earlier, but there's been a lot of them, like Alex Mann from EA, Corey Barlog from Sony Santa Monica. There's quite a few people coming out from within the industry to say this and to say this needs to stop. And you think about how many times we've seen this coming up over the last 18 months alone, this sort of thing.
People are getting more aggressive.
Yeah, that's it. Well, think about how angry people got about the delay to Cyberpunk, and then look at how that turned out. It's constant.
For what purpose as well? What? I don't understand what people think they're going to get out of the harassment. They're not going to go, okay, well, we'll tell you the release date then. I mean, even if you don't know it, who cares? It comes out next year, all right?
Yeah. And how is it in any way benefiting you?
I'm criticising the fact that I know for a fact that this will be, let me post on Twitter my rage about it, but then do absolutely fuck all in all other aspects. It's literally just to get everyone to go, oh wow, they're a really good developer. Oh, they're really good. They're not actually going behind the scenes. Instead of wasting their time and going on Twitter and going, oh, everyone look at me, they're not going to, people that matter, going to the government, sorting these things out.
Yeah, Eddie, you're talking about virtue signaling, I suppose, and there is that thing to it. And I'm not necessarily saying they are or whatever, but it's very hard to sift through what is a virtue signal and what is a real.
Exactly,
in social media.
When it's posted on Twitter, that's it for me.
Well, I do get what you're saying, Eddie.
To just show, look at me, look at what I'm saying.
Yes, I think. What I'm taking from it is not the message of support, it's how many of them react to this. And the fact that when you think about it, they're probably all getting these fucking messages. Maybe not the dick pics, but general toxic messages. Just for working and making games.
Yeah, well, it's just anybody going to work shouldn't get.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to be clear, that nobody should be getting that. But it's
none of us are on the side of the troll.
No, but it's just that they're in a very public domain in this stuff, and it's very social media based and everything. It's very tough. Where this is the culture that has kind of been created and almost endorsed in some ways. It's endorsed for positivity, but less so for negative. I don't. It's very tough.
It is that.
Maybe to leave these messages, you need to create a profile with all the information of yourself.
Get yourself banned forever.
Some kind of accountability.
Yes,
some kind of
but that's
accountability.
all I'm asking for is accountability. That's
like
that's
you
it.
have to. So to join Twitter, you have to send in your driving license or something like that. You know?
Yeah. I mean, even on some of the web, I was going to say dating websites. For my girlfriend, I've been with 4 years. I've not been on a dating website in that long, but you have to verify yourself on things like that. So maybe do it for these forums. Maybe do it for when you're making a comment on social media.
Yeah.
I don't know what the punishment would be even if you got caught, but at least then people are not hidden behind that curtain. So I think that would stop a lot of people from saying stupid comments.
Yes, massively so.
Yeah.
That probably is the solution we're looking at somewhere down the line. But anyway, should we move on to nicer topics?
Yeah. Let's move on.
Oh, that's me, isn't it?
That was your cue, Eddie. Nicely done.
Nice. It's because I'm normally the fluffer, and it is a fluffy piece. But let me go next then. RimWorld is getting a console edition.
Yes,
How cool is that? And it's coming out this month.
It's very, very cool. Yeah, very cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is from Eurogamer, a RimWorld developer, Lydion Studios, widely acclaimed sci-fi colony sim, will finally be making a jump to consoles some 3.5 years after its full PC release on 29th of July. I did look this up because I was like, I'm pretty sure I've been playing this for like fucking 30 years. The release of Early Access was back in 2013. So, a long time ago, and now it's coming to console. RimWorld has, of course, made quite the mark on PC since its Early Access arrival, partly for its wonderful rich blend of management sim action and procedural storytelling, but equally for the way its complex systems can quickly tumble into outright debauchery, ranging from drug-fueled cannibalism to non-consensual body harvesting. I included that bit because they always go that route with the RimWorld. You know what, people, listeners who haven't played this game is actually a lovely colony builder. Yeah. It's a chill game. It's got good music. You play it when you're sad. You play it when you're happy. It's just a nice game. And everyone who hasn't played it must think this is a fucking psychopath.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you could easily just raise a ranch of Muffalo and sort of work that way and not do anything out there.
I have never resorted to cannibalism. Never. Not once. Okay. I mean, I've done a bit of body harvesting, obviously, because, there's a lot of money in that. But still.
And, I mean, it is the best way to train your doctor is to take some body parts and just, replace them or move them around and stuff.
Okay. I feel like I shouldn't have come to you with this, Pete, because I know you're probably on the other side of this.
But it is still nice and calming and relaxing as they do it. It's fine.
You kill everyone. But no, this is. I mean, I can't imagine it would be good to play on console. But hey, the fact that my favourite game of all time is somehow getting bigger and bigger and bigger after 9 years ago when it was released. Pretty happy about that.
Lovely. I'm really interested in this actually. I love the fact it's coming to console. I wonder what price it will be, but it comes out 29th of July, doesn't it? So
I would almost guarantee, Ben, it will be somewhere around 25 quid.
Yeah, it must. Yeah, similar to the PC price. Yeah. And I'm interested to see how it kind of ports over. So, but I suppose, Eddie, you're not interested in any console version, are you? Because you just nice to have a different player base, but you wouldn't play it on console, I guess.
No, I probably wouldn't, because it is very much like there's lots of menus and whatnot. So I like. But I actually got Warband on console. After it came out on PC like 5 years before or whatever, just because I wanted to show support to the developers. So you never know. This could be a little thing that I buy.
I've played like the Escapists on console, and I always thought like it does seem so PC, like to be able to like put things down to build stuff, to put stuff in the right place. You just need a PC for that, usually, don't you? Yeah,
there's a lot of these games. I mean, like Jurassic World Evolution, I've seen that there's a lot of console players on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, to me, is crazy. Like, it's such a PC game. Like, I don't think I got the patience to, like, drag my thumbstick over and wait till it gets to the right... Yeah, I don't think I have the patience for that. But it's clearly working because people are playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure it'll find a nice player base on the console. So looking forward to that. Should we move on to my story then? Just before we start, if my internet does start cracking out, which it has been during your stories, guys, just let me power through.
It's fine on our end, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, I lose track of you guys, so we'll see. Right. Okay. My headline: fan buys £30,000 worth of Nintendo stock to be able to ask about F-Zero at the investor briefing. This is fantastic. So a Nintendo fan spent a reported 5 million yen on Nintendo stock to ask about a potential F-Zero sequel in the shareholder meeting, which was last week, I believe. The response from the president was that it's realistically difficult to develop new titles and remakes for every Nintendo game that people request, but they're very grateful and appreciate the expectations of fans for their games. They then pointed out that somebody in 2019 asked about Famicom Detective Club, and that was already in development, so that was an easier kind of thing to answer. So the guy didn't really get any answer that he wanted, but it did yet again bring it to Nintendo's attention, because I think a lot of Nintendo fans, including myself, would absolutely love an F-Zero remake, sequel, whatever you want to call it. So he describes himself as a diehard Nintendo fan, and he did indeed buy 100 shares in Nintendo back in February, and 100 shares was the exact number of shares that required for you to be able to get access to the meeting. He wasn't guaranteed to ask a question. I think that was more luck, but he wanted to put himself in that position. There hasn't been an F-Zero game since 2004 on the GBA, so I'd love them to. It's basically like a Wipeout type game.
Yes, yeah. So I'm aware of the game.
With a franchise of characters, and they continue to involve these franchise of characters in other Nintendo kind of spin-offs, and Super Smash Brothers and things like that. So I'd love it. Yeah, I think it'd be absolutely superb to have that type of racer on the Switch. But there are no moves. But he's a hero, isn't he? To do that.
That is a massive power move. Yeah,
I heard about this, but I didn't know that he wasn't guaranteed a question. That's fucking rolling the dice.
Yeah. It is, isn't it? But kid wanted to ask his question. Kid wanted to get involved. But yeah, that's
fantastic.
It. That's the news.
Well, fair enough. I mean, God, I'm still getting over 30,000 to have a chance to ask a question. All right, yeah.
I hope he's rich. I hope he's not actually just a Joe Blogs with.
I would like to point out.
He's just done that.
I would like to point out at this point that it's a pretty safe investment, guys.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, you've still got the stock. It's not tumbling.
That's pretty solid, I must say. That's solid as a rock. So He's not losing money. Kid's not losing money.
He's just tying it up elsewhere. Anyway, we should move on to new releases.
All right, cool. First game. It's a quiet week again, guys. First one is Matchpoint Tennis Championships, coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, Switch, on Game Pass, day one, which is July 7th. The season starts now. Grab your racket and become the world's next tennis champion. Your opponent is on the court and the crowd waits for a promising challenger for the grand finale. Are you ready for Matchpoint? This is a tennis game, if you hadn't realised. There's no mention of a career mode. It features only 16 real-life international tennis stars. It doesn't look very good to me, especially when I've played tennis games in the past and they've actually been quite good. I mean, we're going back in the old days here. But, Pete, I'm going to come to you. You're a big tennis player, so does this interest you?
Not really, although apparently you can create your own style.
Brilliant.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Which that would be fun, but the fact that they've only got 16 of the actual tour.
I can't believe that, Do you remember the old days? They used to have loads of them. I take it that's different. They've made law changes and therefore...
It'd just be image rights and stuff, won't it?
Exactly.
But 16 across male and female is quite sparse, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's tragic,
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. It feels like this is a game they've rushed out to catch Wimbledon.
But you said
Yes.
you said one sentence there, Eddie. No mention of career mode. Does that mean there is not a career mode, or?
As in, I've done about 10 minutes worth of research, which is way more than I wanted to do, and I couldn't find any mention of it. I just think there must be, because it says about there's online.
If you can make your own
match
character,
play.
there must be.
Exactly, you can make your own character, so there must be, you know?
So what you've done is just put doubt.
You know what?
On
I've typed in
the game.
deep career mode, and I can see deep career mode come up.
Right,
I've
brilliant.
typed it in, so.
Fine. So that 10 minutes of research that you did was absolute bollocks, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it was
Right, fine.
about reading, so.
You mean it didn't have the career mode mentioned in the blurb? And you went, no career. Literally no career.
Well, how do I come up with other stuff? That's fine.
Bullshit game, no career.
It does look like a shit game.
I'm not. I'll be interested to see how this turns out. I'm not expecting much. I'll be honest.
It's on Game Pass, though.
That does help.
Right. Good.
I'll probably
Strong
play
start.
it for that reason.
Yeah, to be
Strong
fair,
start.
I this is one of those games that I even could jump on and play because it's Game Pass and it's one of those nice, easy games just to log on and play, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd give it
Exactly.
a whirl, especially if it had a deep career mode.
Yeah.
But that word deep,
Road.
we'll see.
Eddie didn't type in Google career mode. He went deep career mode. Oh, it has a deep
No,
career mode.
I didn't mean to say career mode, and it comes up with deep career mode. Yeah.
Right, fine.
And here we go,
Okay.
featuring a unique merit-based ranking system. There you go, guys.
Aren't all ranking systems in games merit?
Yeah, I was,
okay.
I was just thinking that isn't every ranking system by merit?
Well, maybe it's just a roll of the dice in some games. Didn't think about that, did you? Next one, Klonoa.
Klonoa.
Fantasy with a PH. Reverie series. No, I got one word right there. Coming out on Switch July 8th. Klonoa is a 3D side-scrolling action game series whose first title was released by Namco in 1997. Set in a unique universe populated by a range of original characters, the game follows the hero Klonoa as he sets off on a journey to save the world. I would have thought Klonoa is a woman's name. Anyway, this is a shitty 3D side-scrolling game.
Brilliant.
It reminds me of Crash Bandicoot, but much, much worse. Any thoughts from you guys?
I think when this originally came out, people quite liked it, and I think this is also 2 games put into one. It doesn't really interest me. It doesn't really interest me. But if you are a fan of kind of platforming, 3D, side-scrolling, it says side-scrolling, but it's kind of.
Yes,
kind of
I know.
is,
I'm
and
surprised because when I think side-scrolling,
it's kind of a platformer.
Yes. When I think side-scrolling, I think of like Ori and games like that.
Yeah.
But this isn't
Yeah.
like that. That's why I said
It's not-
it reminds me
yeah.
of Crash Bandicoot because it's.
I suppose
more-
it does say 3D. So yeah, I know what you mean, Eddie. Yeah, I do know what you mean. But yeah, it's old school. So it's probably one for fans of the series or people who go, oh, I know that came out back in the day, so let's see what it's like now.
Yeah, it's a combining of 2 games, Ben, as you said. It's Klonoa,
Right,
Daughter,
okay.
Phantomil, and Klonoa 2, Lunaty's Veil.
Cool.
Veil.
Okay.
Definitely Veil. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. It will have its fans out there.
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
No, I don't know any of them. But
I
Good luck to
assume
them. Good luck to them.
by now they're probably in their 40s and they don't like that kind of game. But
that is the risk with these types of games, isn't it? Like, I obviously, as a child, would have played a lot of these types of games. Like, let's say Pandemonium or something like that on the PlayStation. Do you remember that? Like a 3D kind of platformer. And back in the day, I would have loved that. If I was going to play that now, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, your tastes have kind of moved on a lot. So it's a hard sell, I think, to go back to these older platforming, side-scrolling games. I think it's a hard sell.
I as we all know, I can't stand when developers do this. But the fact that there have been so many in the last 2 years of rehashing old games, it's either one of 2 things. One, it must cost peanuts to make, which probably does these days. or two, people like buying these kind of games.
I think people like the nostalgia, and I think the Switch is the perfect system to be doing that on, because I'm much more likely to buy a game for nostalgia purposes on the Switch than I am to load it up on my Xbox. You know, it's not really like that. But what I will say about this game is that it does seem to look very good. Actual, like the color, art popping, stuff like that. It seems to be a nice little version of it, and it looks really clean and crisp.
Wow.
That's what I can say about it.
Crisp, yeah. Okay, I'll give you crisp. I mean, it looks like a hellscape to me, but sure.
Next one, XEL, coming out on PC July 12th. That's coming out. XEL is an epic 3D sci-fi fantasy action adventure. A lot of things to type in there. Explore the mysterious world of XEL and help protagonist Reed to uncover her enigmatic past. I would have thought Reed was a male's name.
I thought you were going to say that.
I thought you were going to struggle with the word enigmatic.
Wow. Okay, brilliant. Make new friends and foes along the way and collect exciting gadgets to master challenging dungeons and solve time-bending puzzles. It's a top-down 3D action adventure. And Ben, before you say that, wouldn't you say this isn't really a top-down game? But it does say 3D. There's a lot of deja vu here.
I wouldn't say it was really top-down at all.
It has a well-crafted combat system with dodging, parrying, and gadgets. You can upgrade your guns and your gadgets as well. The art style actually looks really quite nice. I hate to quote Ben, but it looks clean and crisp.
And
there's even a free demo that you can play right now as well on Steam. I would love to shit on this game, but I actually think it looks quite nice.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it feels more like isometric view than top down to me.
It does.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I don't know how they say top down. Yeah. Fucking hell, yeah.
And I mean, it's not exactly my usual realm of games, but it looks really good.
Yeah. You know, you're saying I don't know how they say top down. Isn't that in your part of the notes?
No. It's I've direct copy and pasted it.
Ah, right. Okay. Fair play. I thought in this when I watched the trailer for this, I thought it didn't really tell me much about the game. I don't know what did you guys think? I didn't think the trailer did a good job actually selling what the game was.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, especially the first ones. Are you talking about the one where it's like static?
Absolutely, I'm talking about the first one that loads up on Steam.
Yeah, it's shit, isn't it? Yeah, it doesn't really do anything.
Yeah,
I never, if I'm being honest, and this says a lot. I should have mentioned this when we did our feature on trailers and whatnot. But I on Steam always ignore the first trailer.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, because it normally doesn't really show you what you want. I normally go to, I think it's 2 or 3, where you actually see mechanics and someone playing the game.
Yeah, I like somebody to sell me the hype, and then I'll go in. So I want people to sell me the impossible dream that it's clearly not that game. I buy into it, and then I go deeper in, and then I think I'm through the looking glass, might as well buy.
This happens like 5 or 6 times a day, though, right, Ben?
I am the perfect customer.
My God.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Rune Factory 5, coming out on PC July 13th. As the newest ranger of a peacekeeping organisation known as SEED, SEED, protect your community by rounding up rowdy monsters and going on special missions. Cultivize your farm and friendships alike while unraveling rune-related mysteries. It came out on May 2021 for Switch. The combat looks awful. Traversing looks awful. The dialogue scenes look awful. It looks below par.
I'm so surprised your Rune Factory seems to be like right up your street, Eddie.
Yeah, the mechanics, but when a game looks like this, I cannot forgive it.
It's got that annoying JRPG kind of look to it, I think.
I think the combat is pretty much straight out of Final Fantasy IX, which is very old now.
Well, it is a farming sim meets Final Fantasy, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, pretty
that's
much.
that's what the franchise is based on. I'm not sure that this is the best entry, from what I hear, but seeing this on this list and I've always been interested in Rune Factory. Not gonna lie.
That doesn't surprise.
I like the mechanics, but everything else about the whole entire thing just looks awful to me. Like, unforgivable.
Well, I'm going to be interested. I mean, Unforgivable is strong. I'm going to be interested in your take on one of the games later on in the Nintendo Direct, Eddie.
Ooh.
I'm interested in quite a few of his takes on those.
Spoilers. All right, that's it for the new releases, unfortunately. My
Right,
pick has
Eddie,
got...
I need to know your pop pick on this, because this is the slim pickings, isn't it?
It is Rune Factory 5. No,
Hey!
no. It's actually
Whoa.
XEL. Even though I will probably never play it, I think it looks like a very well crafted game, and I think they've done really good things with it. So it's XEL.
Well, after watching the trailer, I have no idea what the game is. So, yeah, great.
You can find out in a few days when it comes out. Just saying.
Fine.
But anyway, what we've been playing, shall we?
What we've been playing? Maybe I'll start because I've been playing the same as last week, really. So, just on a side note, Eddie and I have been playing Warzone again, haven't we? We've been
I didn't know
back in the bloody Warzone. No, just a quick one, but we've jumped back in with a new map, and we are thoroughly enjoying it most nights, aren't we?
Absolutely, yeah, I'm really loving it. It helps that we're playing with all our mates, so
yeah,
that helps. But I'm loving I'm loving the map. I know it's not a new map. Well, it might be. I don't know, but
it's new to us.
Yeah, it's new to us. I'm loving it. I don't really. The guns have got all that perk system, which is cool. Like you can equip up to 10 perks, but I'm still struggling to use a gun. I'm not a gun player.
But the problem is you are a gun player, and you are the best of us. So when our team lead is struggling, it's hard work.
Then we all struggle.
Yeah, it's a hard knock. It's a hard knock. But yeah, we are back playing Warzone, so let's see how that progresses. But yeah, I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Hopes again. I'm about halfway through the game, about halfway through the chapters, and it's just taken over what I've been playing, really. It's crazy how much this game feels like Fire Emblem Three Houses, except it's a Warriors game. Like it is mental. The more you go through it, you go, wow, it's exactly the same. And just to be clear, conceptually, everything, all the mechanics, everything that's in everything outside of the battle is in this game that's in Three Houses. Every single mechanic, and I'd say probably a little bit more. The only real difference between these two games is that instead of turn-based combat, it's action RPG-like combat.
Yeah.
And this is proper in the thick of the war stuff.
Okay.
So, and it's just a different story, but it's the same game, but just with that different combat. And I really, really like the combat, and it's arguable whether I like it more than the turn-based stuff. And there's tactical elements to this combat as well, like the battle shifts, your objectives shift, and you have to send part of your party over there, over here. So a lot of the battles you do with like 4 members of your squad, and then the final battle in the chapter or what have you, the one that you're aiming towards, like everybody in your squad, all 12 of you, whatever it is, or 8 or 10 or however many bloody is, all go into battle, and so it's all about having them leveled up, getting them with the right armor, right abilities, all that kind of stuff, so they can fight on their own. And you control 4 of them. You can be personally 4 of them, but I generally stay as the one character unless I need to get one particular action done with a particular character over one side of the map. But you can send them around together, you can link up the characters, you can make them go around, protect certain people, go after certain targets. Just really, really good and quite tactical. And I would say that so far especially, this is an absolute must-buy for anybody who loved Three Houses. And I do think anybody who's got a Switch who is remotely interested in Fire Emblem should be buying Three Houses, because that is one of the best games on the Switch. But if you loved and played, or even if you just liked Fire Emblem, this is almost a must buy. It's arguably better.
Bloody hell.
So, yeah, absolutely. Because same type of game, but combat is really good, and it feels great. It doesn't get old. Very, very good.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if it's held you for 2 weeks with barely anything else, that's a big sign on its own, isn't it?
It is a big sign, yeah. And like I happily sit down and just play. And you know, it's got the calm moments as well when you're around camp and you're just like listening to the conversations, going through that stuff. Maybe you're taking some exams, getting some new character classes, leveling up your characters, making sure they're there, getting the right armor set, all that kind of stuff. So all the weapons, and it's just very, very good.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, fair enough. I suppose I'll go next, and I'm going to start with Aspera because I played a couple of things this week. But let's start with Aspera because I picked this up on the Steam sale, obviously, and this is the planet-scale city builder and terraforming game set on Mars that came out. It's well reviewed. It's quite popular.
Oh yeah.
Not for me so far, gotta say. I think I only managed to play a couple of hours on this before I just put it down and didn't really care about picking it up again. The mechanics and resource management, they seem pretty good. They're, similar to those in Surviving Mars. They're similar to resource management in most games, really, but with a bit more detail. But what immediately threw me off with this is when they say planet scale. It's like your basic factory is probably 150 miles long. Or that's what it feels like from the scale you're looking at. So that just immersion breaking beyond belief, like for me anyway. It just, instead of games like Surviving Mars or most of the other city builders in space, that type of thing, where you feel like you're taking on a new planet, it just kind of feels like the whole thing's one map and that map's pretty small.
Right, okay.
Takes away all the majesty of like the idea of conquering a new planet for me anyway. It's just a ridiculous thing and I couldn't get over it. And because of the fact that I'm really enjoying the other game that I've been playing, I haven't even thought about picking it up. I've actually considered trying to return it because I'm still under 2 hours by about 2 minutes.
Oh, Christ. Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
That level. Because literally just within minutes, I was just like, no, why? Like, why would I want a waste rock processing plant to be 50 miles square? Like, that's weird. That's immediately weird for me. And I mean, Eddie, I get the feeling that this is the sort of the game that might have appealed to you. Absolutely. And it clearly appeals to a lot of people based on the reviews. But I don't know, for me, just instantly, it just, not interested.
It looks very menu and kind of worldview heavy, which worries me a bit. Like, I love menus and I love, going through resources and whatnot, but I need to feel like the main part of the game is like inside, like, I don't know, your town or whatever.
Your town is the planet, Eddie.
Yeah, I
you
know.
can basically, you could easily enough take up most of the planet with one city. Like,
so what game would you compare this to? If you're trying to explain this to people who can't, because obviously I've just highlighted it, I've seen some images of it and all watched the trailer in the background. Is there another game which this compares to in terms of what it's trying to do and what it just doesn't deliver on?
See, this is it's in a similar category to things like Surviving Mars, City Skylines, those type of games.
Oh, right.
Yep,
Cool.
gotcha.
It's that sort of experience is what you're looking for. But I've never had one this scale, and it really doesn't work for me. And it sells itself on city building on a planetary scale. But you're like, well, yeah, of course it's planetary scale if a building is the size of New York. Like,
yeah.
That that feels like a cheat for me. And that kind of just threw me off instantly, to be honest.
So it came out in December 2020. How's it good graphically? How good is it?
Oh, it looks very good. It is obviously for these type of games, so it's not trying to be like high definition rendering every tree to a level of detail. But
I say that because for me, games that are based on other planets or in space, I need that immersion. I need to be dripping in. This is it. This is made to be viewed from a long way away. If you zoom in, everything doesn't look right as well. Gotcha.
But again, that's the problem. When you're looking at it from a long way away, you're seeing the entire planet and going like, oh, look, my fledgling base takes up 10% of it. That was what was killing it for me. That's just an insurmountable problem so far. And that includes the fact that you can terraform the entire planet in this, which is obviously something that would be really fun in concept. But again, if it feels like you're terraforming a puddle, it's not quite the same as making the Pacific Ocean, is it? So
Okay, so this doesn't seem like a goer.
no, and I mean, I may come back to this in the future. I may not. I may refund it. We'll see. And I am aware that it has positive reviews on Steam.
Really positive.
Yeah,
really
that's
positive,
it.
yeah.
Well, mostly positive. Is the vast body is mostly positive.
Yeah, let's
But
qualify it then. Yeah.
compared to Kepler, which is basically completely unknown, this couldn't hold me for an evening. Like,
Yeah,
I
this
just
is-
went,
this is what-
nah.
Like Kaplurth, like I tagged it in our post on Twitter last week, and I looked at their Twitter account. Like, there's no one following it. Like, that game is like unknown. You found a proper hidden gem in this Kaplurth, Pete. Like, I can't wait for Eddie to play it, then play it for like a million years, and then be like, "This is the best game ever." And it's a full hidden gem, isn't it?
It
Like,
will be. I think Eddie will really enjoy it. I'm not sure if it will ever top RimWorld for him, but I think he'll really enjoy it. And I have made
all our listeners who have PCs, go look for Kaplurth. Have a little look, and if you buy it, message the developers, say Grumpy Gamers Podcast sent you there.
Yes, indeed.
See what happens. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? You know, get a bit of renown
fantastic.
from him.
But I have actually played quite a bit more of Keplerth, and I've reached a point now where I've worked out the gene editing and gene modifying. I created a replica for myself who functions like a companion.
Mimic.
Yeah, it's essentially having a mimic tier, Ben, but you can
Nice,
customize them based on what you want. So if you want one that's like really tanky and has damage splash and all that kind of stuff, you can do that. If you want one who's a ranged fire support guy, you can do that. You can kind of mess around with different styles of replica and see what you get. So I obviously went for a tanky one because anything to take the attention off me in Elden Ring or in this is beneficial. And it's been fantastic. It made it a lot better. And I've now got through, I think, 5 of the 7 bosses.
Very nice.
Yeah, and actually put a bit of focus into learning powers, which are a bit like the biotics from Mass Effect, which is a really fun little addition to have in there as well.
Yeah.
So there's more, I keep finding more and more little details in this that make it more and more fun. And it's why it keeps pulling me back. And it's also why I'll probably try Aspera again when I don't have another game I want to play, just in case I've been unfair to it. But I will say, decidedly, Keplerth is fantastic. Everyone should give it a go.
So Eddie, when are you playing this game?
I am not going to force myself to because I am really, really enjoying Three Kingdoms, and I think I
Lovely.
can
Okay.
really chuck some hours in. And I've also got a Dynasty Warriors, I think 9 Empires
Yes.
demo
yes.
downloaded, which I know that coming off the back of Three Kingdoms,
That'll be
and
perfect.
playing that demo, that could be and because I think it's really expensive, I think that will force me to play a hell of a lot of that as well. So Kaplurth is still on but I will play it before the end of the year because it could be a Game of the Year contender for me. So
It could actually sneak up there.
Yeah,
you know.
actually, it's okay. Came out this year. It's in the mix.
Exactly.
Then the likes of myself would have to get involved just to have an opinion.
okay.
I should also point out, I'm pretty sure it's Keplerth because it's Kepler Earth. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Kaplurth.
Kepler Earth. So Keplerth.
So, but you spell it Kplerth.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. Right.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's meant to be a portmanteau of the two, essentially.
Right.
So, yeah,
Well,
and-
I'm actually looking forward now that Eddie's got me excited because I was talking to you about that Empires, the Dynasty Warriors game, wasn't I, Eddie? And
Yeah.
I think is that why you downloaded the demo after we had a chat about it?
Yeah, it was part of that. Part of because Three Kingdoms. Part of to get me into Three Kingdoms. I watched. You know, there's a Dynasty Warriors movie on Netflix.
Yes.
Really?
I didn't know this, so I watched that as well, which got me fucking excited. It's so bad, but it's good bad.
I love bad computer game movies. I love the Monster Hunter movie. I thought it was quite good as well. Like even though it's bad.
You know, there's an entire live action series on YouTube of it as well.
Yes, I did try downloading that once, but it was I think it was like subtitles, and the subtitles were really off.
It's on YouTube now with better subtitles. It's still a complete mess, but it's well worth watching.
For any fans of Dynasty Warriors, I highly recommend you watch Red Cliff Part 1 and 2. That is not... Even if you didn't like ancient Chinese history, that is fucking amazing.
Very much.
And if
very
you
much
do
agreed.
like it, every 10 minutes you're like, yes! So, yeah, watch that.
And what's that on?
Oh, fuck knows. They're both movies, Ben. From probably about 10 years ago. So I don't even know how you'd find them.
It's a very good point, yeah. I'm not sure where you find
probably,
them.
you could probably pay for them on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
That's where we'll land. That's where we'll land.
Yeah.
In fact, Google has told me it is on Amazon. There you go. Find it on Amazon. Fantastic. Let's talk Three Kingdoms anyway. Yeah.
Next, forgot about that. Total War Three Kingdoms was my game. Surprisingly, you know what? I didn't write many notes of this because I could have sworn, Pete, you brought this to the table, but you said
if I did, it was probably over a year ago. That's the thing.
I can't remember him talking about it. I can't remember.
All right. So to our listeners, it's a Total War game, but this is set in the Three Kingdoms era, which is ancient Chinese. To our gamers, it's Dynasty Warriors, but Total War, basically. It's a completely different game to Total War games, if I'm being honest. It's kind of really focused on generals, which I haven't really had before. Pete, I think you said in Rome 2 they were quite hero-focused, but they weren't nearly as powerful as these generals, are they?
No, not at all. And that's the thing. I think with this one, they kind of... they took the bit from Warhammer, didn't they? They went like, okay, everyone likes having memorable characters.
Yes.
So let's do that.
Is this similar in nature to the one with Achilles and
Troy?
The one that was given, the one that was given away free on the Epic Store.
Yeah.
I only played that for a few hours, but this is way more focused on them. As in, what's great is that they kind of have stories to all of the different people, obviously because they did in real life, but they kind of romanticize it. Apologies for the a bit on the nose there. But also as well with the generals, there's not only your generals that fight well in battle, but it's great. They've got the outside mechanics where you can like make them like, well, not generals. You can put them in political power positions so that they help your empire. So certain people might help boost peasantry income because, you know, they're ex-farmers or whatever. Some might be a good leader, so therefore they increase like morale buffs throughout your kingdom. There's so many little things that you do outside of the battle that makes it feel like every Total War game I've ever played, if I'm not at war with someone, it's kind of shitting boring. But this one, I could quite happily... I even sometimes... just get rid of all my armies because then I earn shit tons of money, and I fiddle around with the outside, you know, rewarding certain generals for certain things, and it's all focused around that. I mean, you can lose generals. Generals can betray you. They can even, if they're in a high enough position, they can take half your army away, and they can create a civil war. So it's all kind of focused on this, which is great because the armies aren't vast like Warhammer Total War. You know, where you've got loads of different types. This has got, don't get me wrong, it's still got a lot of types, but not nearly as much. So, but because it's so focused on the generals, it's fine. The map seems massive to me. I mean, it's nothing compared to what Warhammer 3 when they combine in the map. They combine.
It's August, and they've shown what the map looks like, and it is insanely
huge.
Seen
it. It's huge. Yeah. This game isn't as big as that, but I guess it's one game. It feels massive, and it's got they've done the map really, really well. They've done like choke points. They've done good places to have certain bases and whatnot. They've done it really, really well. I am absolutely loving it. I'm loving it because I love ancient Chinese history. I know all the stuff about the people, so each time I interact with one of them or I look a bit of history for each one, it gets me excited, as well as actually like doing all the outside of combat things, which Total War games, in my opinion, usually are lacking quite a bit. And
just for our listeners, me, Eddie, and Pete were together at the weekend, and when we were all hungover the night after, I was sat on the edge of the sofa and had to had to leave because Eddie and Pete were just saying a lot of Chinese names, just talking, and I was saying, I don't know what's going on. I haven't got the mental capacity to continue to be in this room.
That was noticeable.
Yeah, I know she went quiet for about half an hour, man. I like that.
As me and Eddie debated whether you call him Cow Cow or Chow Chow.
Yeah, absolutely. That literally the conversation. I was thinking, isn't a Chow Chow a dog? What's going on here?
Very good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So on top of all that as well, watching the general fights, the animations are actually incredible. Like
They really
good.
are, aren't they? Yeah.
Really good. Like I think it's, don't get me wrong, in Warhammer I used to zoom in when a dragon used to, like, I don't know, charge someone. But this, I find myself all the time zooming into the generals and watching them Dynasty Warriors kick ass, basically, all over the place. So yeah, I'm really, really loving it. I never thought I would like this game. And I remember ages ago when it came out and Pete went, "Oh, Eddie, I assume this is a day one for you." And I said, no, not really, because I don't like... I saw, like, people playing it before it came out, and I saw that you only have, like, 4 to 6 units in each...
to each general, yeah.
Yeah, to each general, and each army can only have 3 generals. And I remember being really disappointed with that. But holy shit, it's only because I've never experienced a Total War where where it's so focused on the generals, and the generals are so entertaining to use. So people who had that problem, I highly, highly recommend you give this a try. And it's on Game Pass, which is crazy, because this has been... I've had this on my wish list since it's come out, and it's always been around 50 quid. But playing it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, what a win for Game Pass this one was.
Absolutely, what a win for me.
Yeah, PC Game Pass for the Total War series has been nailing it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the fact they've got quite a few of the Paradox games as well is just...
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic
The
stuff.
Stellaris and
Crusader
Kings,
yeah.
just like absolutely smashing it. And with the console editions as well. Just fucking hell, yeah. Great stuff.
Bargain. Yeah. We're just channeling a little bit of Kirk there to constantly talk up Xbox for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
As if we didn't do that ourselves beforehand anyway.
There we go, Kirk. Game Pass is great. We know it.
Yeah. Right. But that's us for the week, isn't it? That's the 3... Well, that's the games we've been playing.
Yep. Them the games. Yeah.
And probably enough about Xbox, as the feature is entirely on the Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, and just to set the scene on this one before we go into it, so Nintendo really did, before they announced this one, they really did set the tone. They didn't want anyone to be disappointed. They wanted the disappointment to be in advance, and they made sure that everyone knew it was a partner direct, and they would not be there. They wouldn't be showing off any of their own games, which is strange because it's non-E3 season. To not really show off any of your Nintendo games, that's weird. And they also called it a Nintendo Direct Mini. So they called it a mini partner showcase, and which most Nintendo Directs are 25 minutes long. This was 25 minutes, so I don't really know why they called it a mini, but they really wanted to push those expectations right down. They even made it wasn't even a live stream. They just put the video on their channel. They didn't even stream. It wasn't even like you could literally go to the end of the video right at the start. Like it was like they didn't give a shit. But but let's talk about it.
I'm glad you said that because I thought you weren't going to say it. Yeah, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. By the way, listeners, Pete and Ben thought it'd be funny for me to do this feature.
I still do,
because they know I fucking hate Nintendo games. So first of all, fuck them, and second of all, double fuck them, because I actually quite like a lot of these games. So yeah,
no, so do I. Spoilers, so do I.
So I thought it'd be best to kind of split it up instead of going through every single game. I'll just read out a few. Let me know what you guys think, and then we'll take it from there. So first 3 games we saw were Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, Nier Automata. Am I saying that right? And Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. Yeah. First of all, am I saying them right?
Yeah. I think you've nailed it. I mean, I don't know whether it's Automata or Automata.
I always hear you say Automata. So
I do say
you
Automata.
always say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but who knows? Monster Hunter. It's like the longest. Literally, it was coming out like the next day or something, and it was like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking hell. But it does look good though. Not gonna lie.
No, this one does look really good. I think Monster Hunter is one of those things that you kind of got to have a bit of respect for it, and it continues to look good. And this is a full scale expansion, isn't it? It's basically a brand new game on top of the game.
It is. Pete, me and you were talking about it, and you have to have completed I believe the multiplayer campaign. So I've got up to 7 stars, or completed the 7-star monsters in the original Monster Hunter Rise. So you have to have put in 50 hours to have got to this point. This expansion is full $40, 30 odd quid. But saying that, it is like basically like a new game with like master ranks, new monsters, new armor sets, all this kind of stuff. Like, and for a lot of people who have played Monster Hunter Rise, they don't want to start a new character. They want to continue with the character that they fucking nailed, and they want to carry on with that one. And this, I really want to get back into Monster Hunter. I really want to play it again, but I kind of feel like I might want to start from the start. I don't know, like this. I'm seeing all these trailers, and I'm like, this is fucking good.
Yeah, very much agreed. This is by far and away the standout in it for me. First up, tells you a lot.
Have you been interested in getting this? I know when I talked about the game originally, when it came out, and I talked about it on here, you were interested in a potential PC release. Now it is on PC, obviously, and I have seen it. I think it looks really nice on PC. That interests you at all? I mean, it's not likely to come down in price. That's the problem.
That is the big problem. Yeah. It's not likely to come down in price is a bit of an issue.
But if that was a tenner, let's say, like in when
definitely,
year 2, whatever, is that something you'd look into?
Absolutely, definitely, for a tenner, for sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even think twice at that cost.
I mean, I'm not sure it ever will be, but
no, I doubt it would be. No, but I will keep watching and waiting and see.
All right, how about Nier Automata? I thought this looked fantastic.
Yeah, it's a port of the game that's on, must be on Xbox as well. Yeah, I think it came to Xbox within the last couple of years, because it's originally on PlayStation, and I had it on PlayStation, and it's on Xbox now, isn't it? So I don't know, people love this game. Like, you got to complete it multiple times to get different endings, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was alright, but yeah,
I see. Whenever I go to a games convention, there's always dressed as the main character.
Yeah, what's she called? Thingy B.
Yeah.
What's her name? Yeah. But yeah, she's blind as well, isn't she? But yeah, it's a classic cosplay. It's it's the one that people do. But it's a cool game to have on Switch. What I think is the most amazing thing is that I think it's like 10 gig, and I think on all the other consoles it's like 60. So that's some crazy ass compression going on.
Yeah, that is impressive.
But impressive stuff to have it native, and I think a lot of people would be really pleased to see it. I think it'll do really well on the Switch.
Yeah. All right. And the last one, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, to me look fucking shocking.
People have fucking loved it though.
Yeah. Fucking internet.
It's like this detective type puzzle game. I think the thing that makes me think about it is that it's by Annapurna Interactive, and we know that they publish good games. So people it seems to have a buzz around it. I'm not really interested, but it seems to have a buzz around it.
It definitely has got a buzz.
Hated the trailer. It's like trying to be clever, but obviously it worked to some people. So
music was good though. I genuinely think the music made that trailer. It really set a nice atmosphere, and without that, I think it might have struggled. I might be completely off the mark, but that's what I think. Moving on.
Not really.
Brilliant. All right, next week.
Not interested in this one.
Super Bomberman R2, Mega Man Legacy Collection, and Pac-Man World Repack. Great name. Any of these jump out at you?
I don't care about Bomberman. A lot of people care about Mega Man, but I don't. But that Pac-Man World Repack one, I thought looked quite interesting. It wasn't. It's like bringing Pac-Man into the modern setting.
Modern era.
Yeah, don't know. But I haven't got really anything meaningful to add. I don't know if you have, Pete.
No, I thought this was the slim picking section, to be honest, or the start of it.
It was nice to group these together, I think.
Well, I mean, you could have done it with a few more to follow as well. But
Don't be mean.
I don't think any of these are particularly of interest. It is intriguing that they're doing more with Pac-Man, but I don't think this is how you do it, personally.
I thought Super Bomberman R2 looked like a lot of fun. There's so many games there. I actually enjoyed playing them fucking years ago when the first one came out, whenever that was, God knows. But I thought that'd be really good fun. But fuck you guys.
I was thinking, who's asking for that? But there you go.
All right, and then we saw Blanc, Return to Monkey Island, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Little Noah, Railgrade, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright. I'm going to quickly jump in and say I thought the Blanc game actually looked really beautiful in a weird way, even though it was all black and white.
I'm glad you said that, Eddie.
Had no script or anything, but I just thought it looked really charming.
I'm glad you said that, because I really like that one as well. It very much reminded me of that game that they showed a while ago called Endling. It was...
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's that same type of just... This could be real nice. It could be a charming but emotional little adventure.
Nice, yeah.
I
will also say Return to Monkey Island, I thought it looked awful, so I sent some abusive messages and then I sent some dick pics to random developers as well.
Right, okay, very
Jesus Christ.
Very powerful statement there. I thought it looked quite good, but point and clicks these days, who knows how that's gonna pan out. So,
I actually used to love Monkey Island when I was a kid.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I used to love it. But, of course, I've grown up and I would never play that kind of game again.
Right, I might play it.
I would be tempted by Return to Monkey Island. And to be fair, I do agree. I kind of like the look of Blanc.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I would happily play either of those if I had a Switch or any intention to give Nintendo money.
Yeah, I did that. Mario and Rabbids obviously was the big one in this section. They showed off a bit of gameplay and stuff. It looked like Mario and Rabbids to me. So, but I didn't play that much of the first one. So I have got it. I've got it on the shelf, but I just haven't really played it.
I don't get the appeal of it, but I understand that I'm not the target market for this one.
Well, it's Mario XCOM.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So if you like XCOM, you like Nintendo, then as I said, I've got it on the old shelf, just haven't played it.
It feels a bit harsh on XCOM still. Okay, yeah. We'll let you have.
Nothing else really appealed here, apart from that Railgrade. I do like a train game.
You have strange tastes. I'm not going to lie.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was quite into. If that was shadow dropped, I probably would have opened the old wallet.
Of course you would.
Honestly, I probably would have. Yeah.
It's model train building. That's what
Yeah,
it
but
is.
Pete, you got to admit, it does look well put together. You've got to. If you're going to give it
Pete.
any sort of
Pete.
credit.
Just look, yeah. And if somebody said, "Oh, do you want it today?" Go on then.
It's not offensive to look at. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Oh dear me. And just to talk about RPG Time, I thought that looked fucking awful. So that rounds up that group nicely. Next group, Sonic Frontiers Live Alive. Yeah,
Yep,
that's right,
it,
isn't
yep.
it? It's actually right. Minecraft Legends, Dragon Quest Treasures. Thoughts?
I thought the Sonic Frontiers trailer looked the best trailer that they've shown for Sonic.
Absolutely.
It showed
compared to others,
combat. It showed things going on. It also had that cyberspace thing, which was the almost like where you go into the different worlds, which are very much like normal Sonic stuff. I know this game is getting shat on from every quarter. Now everyone's having a go at it, but I think it looks really good. And I thought the Switch, and it was obviously that was the Switch version of the game because it looked shitter than the other ones. And I thought, you know what, if reviews end up saying that it plays all right on Switch, that could be the place that I get it. Like I really like. I'm liking the look of Sonic Frontiers, and I have faith in that game.
I think it was a bad decision releasing that first. Where it was clearly that one of the devs was just playing the game.
Correct.
And it did look a bit boring, and I think the problem with the internet is once there's traction on something, it's hard to steer away from it. And I think that everyone jumped on it's shit. Don't get me wrong, the IGN thing helped it out, but the problem is it's already trending that everyone's saying it's shit, and I feel like it's hard to get off that track now.
I think you're so right, because it's like everyone's saying, oh, it's boring, it looks like a massive open world where there's nothing to do and stuff. But the developers did it at that pace to kind of, I think that in their mind, they were thinking that people were going to go, whoa.
Yeah.
Like that kind of, a lot of these games like the Breath of the Wild thing where it's like, whoa, look at all this expansive stuff and the movement and all that. And people didn't. And they must have just gone, nah, misstep. Damn it. And then they've looked at the next 3 trailers and gone, they're pretty much the same thing. People didn't like that. Fuck. Hopefully that Nintendo one pops. I think it looks alright.
Yeah. So.
I think it looks good. But the other ones are Live Alive, massive hype over this. Everyone's into it. So
it's fucking awful.
No, it's like Octopath Traveler. Like,
it's got the same art style, but come on. Apart from that.
Well, no, it is that. Like, it's 8 different like character, or however many it is, 6 or 8 different characters living at different time periods. All this kind of stuff. The samurai one looks so fucking cool. Even that's for me saying that. So
that's the biggest shock here.
Yeah, that's me saying that. But I like the look of this game. It's a remake of an old game that nobody in the West would have played.
Very old game. It's like 1995 or something.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good. Minecraft, we saw that the other day at the Xbox One or whatever. Dragon Quest Treasures. But that's an interesting one, I thought, because it's like a hybrid between a normal Dragon Quest, like Dragon Quest 11, and Dragon Quest Builders. A lot of people saying, what's the point in it? But I thought it looked all right.
The thing is, though, it's Dragon Quest. It'll do well.
I think it looks all right. Dragon Quest Builders did very well. So it looks a bit mobile gamey though.
Yeah, there is a bit of that to it. But to be honest, I find it difficult to separate most Nintendo games from mobile games. So
Pete, you are something else.
You are a correct man.
I mean, you're not wrong in saying that the Switch is mobile technology.
Yeah. It's entirely that, and most of the games look identical to the versions that are mobile ported. But yeah.
All right.
Don't appreciate your tone.
All right, then we got a quick look at Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, No Man's Sky, A Plague Tale Requiem.
So this, by the way, is where I thought we got to the heavy hitters in terms of things you want to see, even if we've seen a fair bit or heard a fair bit about them already. I mean, Fire Emblem 3 Hopes, Ben, you've already sold it to me, essentially. It sounded great. It looks great. Yeah, can understand that. No Man's Sky, I think, will be really good on the Switch. I really do. Plague Tale Requiem, we all know is a good game.
Well, it will be. Yeah, it's going to be. This is the cloud version, remember? So that's the only fallback. But I do like that if you have a Switch as your primary console, or even because you could have people that can't play on their TV because they're in a shared residence, or like you've got one TV and you can't be monopolizing that TV. To be able to have a cloud version of a new game like A Plague Tale Requiem that is going to be day one Xbox and all this kind of stuff. Day one Game Pass and all that. But if you have the option of playing on cloud on your Switch, okay, it's going to look great. As long as your internet can handle it, it's going to look great, isn't it? And this type of game will probably be okay because input lag doesn't really matter, I wouldn't have thought, with this game.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good addition to the cloud service.
Very much so.
Cool. All right, and then finally we got Portal Companion Collection, which I think a lot of people would be happy about. That's available now. Harvestella.
This is the one that I wanted you to talk about, Eddie.
Yeah, I fucking knew this was going to be the one. Yeah,
boy.
And we got Persona 5. Well, no one really cares about Persona games.
Don't do that. Read it out
apparently
properly.
Some of them are coming Switch or some sort of
You
game.
are not. No. So 5, 4, and 3. Come on.
Yeah, Harvestella, obviously, I think we can all agree, is Game of the Year already.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear, Eddie. That's all I wanted to hear.
You didn't even need to hear it, because you knew it. You knew it was coming.
Yeah. So for people who haven't seen the Direct, it's a farming sim type game that's Final Fantasy looking. It's an action RPG at the same time. It's made by Square Enix. I mean, they've got a full storyline about the Season of Death that comes in and all this kind of stuff. Like, I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
And the reason I said this earlier is because this is Square Enix's answer to Rune Factory.
Yeah.
So-
the world map looks really charming. You can get little animals. You can cook and buy recipes. It looks good.
I'm all in, baby. 4th of November. That's the day before my birthday. It's a present to myself.
Oh shit! Early birthday present.
Yeah,
Lovely.
present to myself, baby. There we go.
But Pete, Portal. Surely you're happy with that.
Mate, I was grinning the moment you hear GLaDOS's voice. Like, love that. Thought they do it really well. Portal. They do all their marketing really well. It was great, and these are phenomenal games. And I mean, they're about up to date with where the Switch is in terms of visuals, so it will look fantastic too.
Pete, you have been scathing in a 5-minute period right now.
I said this was the heavy hitters, and I stand with that. Portal is definitely a heavy hitter.
Oh yeah, I think it's number 1 ranked on Steam. I think game of all time. Yeah.
Well, but the heavy hitter on this direct, despite Eddie's whatever the fuck that was the whole presentation of Persona. If Persona wasn't revealed at this event, it was never coming to the fucking Switch. But obviously, whatever rights PlayStation had to it as an exclusive for a period of time has now lapsed, and it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. Obviously, Persona 5 Royal is coming first, and that is also coming to Switch at the same time. Then Persona 4 Golden and Persona 3 Portable are coming. It said soon, which we assume to mean after Persona 5 Royal. But they did a whole bit with Morgana and Teddy from Persona 4, which I thought was quite nice, putting it together. And that was obviously their big heavy hitter for the show, because despite what Eddie and probably Pete say, Persona is quite a good get. But part of me does think that this is just setting it all up for a lovely Persona 6 announcement that will just be a PlayStation exclusive. So... yeah, but I think I'm going to get Persona 5 Royal on Switch rather than play on Game Pass. I think I'll pay the £50 to have it on
Shit
Switch.
in hell, really?
Eddie, I don't know if you've heard, but it's a really good game. And Persona 5 handheld will be amazing, because I had Persona 4 Golden handheld, and that's the way to play Persona. That is the way to play it.
On a mobile phone.
Pete, I don't know if you took my last comment as a warning, but this one is officially.
I don't really know what you're going to do, Ben. We're 250 miles
I don't know,
apart.
but I've got a week to work it out, Pete.
I've also literally spent the last week trying to sell a fucking Switch to my parents, because I think it'll be the best console for them. But yeah.
Then you see games like Persona, and they go, "What are you?"
There you go.
talking about,
Your
Chris?"
mum would love Persona. Your mum, Harvestella.
Mum would fucking love Harvestella.
Yeah, that's
Mother
true.
Eddie.
Harvestella and Persona 5. Buy them a Switch. Harvestella and Persona 5 for Christmas.
She was fully
sorted.
addicted to Sonic when we were kids as well. So I mean, there's endless amounts.
Okay, and Sonic Frontiers. You got 3 games right there. Persona 5, Harvestella, Sonic Frontiers should be sorted for the next year.
Fucking lovely.
I don't think she needs Persona 5, but yeah. Anyway, if anyone other than Ben wanted to talk up Persona 5, how would they reach us, Ben?
So everyone in the world wants to reach out. Okay, right, they can email us, podcast@grumpygamers.co.uk, and you can tweet us at grumpygamerspod. You can also catch us on YouTube. That's Grumpy Gamers Podcast, and Twitch. Again, we're live on Twitch on Thursdays at 7 p.m. BST, sometimes Fridays. And that is Grumpy Gamers Podcast, all one word.
Fantastic. But for this week, it is GG.
GG.
GG!